It's another moment that we spend time together on Hope Live just so we can get interactive, we can get talking, we can get chatting. Remember, Hope Live is one program that cuts across issues of life, and today we are particularly excited because we are trying to hit something that is at the center of our lives. Yeah, not just a heart, but the life of every individual revolves around finances. But other than that, relationships are also very important issues that sometimes we ignore, sometimes we pay attention to, maybe for wrong reasons. Anyway, that's part of what we'll be discussing today. My name is Bright Sinkozi, your host on this program. Wene Myanga is also here with me. Wene.
Good. I don't know, I wanted to say morning, afternoon, evening, whatever time you are watching us, we are always excited to be here. And today we seem so relaxed, and we are discussing something very pertinent.
Thing is not relaxed, but there is need for us to relax.
Exactly.
So
the
that
point.
we are level-headed.
Yes,
Otherwise,
yes.
not just
Our viewers will be part of this conversation because it affects everyone. It
does.
The young, the old, the middle-aged, and it's a learning point for those who are yet to engage in these things, and also people who are already circled around finances and money and begin to look at how they can begin to realign their lives as far as money and love is concerned.
Well, I could tell you now that it builds from way before you even get married. You might think it builds from way before you even get married. You might think it is something that you're going to pay attention to if not handled prior to marriage. You might just be facing the transition to the main discussion with our guest joining us today. Have you been in at any given time your friend, the one you are with in a relationship, just go and say, babe, honey, or whatever you call each other, and they say, I want to do my hair. Kindly send me 1,000 kwacha. It's not on your budget. But then love is calling, and love is asking for money.
Well, I have been in such kind of a situation, not once, not twice, but several times.
Okay.
And I guess it's a reality among so many young people who are in their 20s. They have to face this almost daily in their parts of their lives as they try to navigate relationships and hopefully get into marriage. These are some of the things that we young people do actually experience several times.
And relationships have died because maybe the guy is from Stingy Men Association. And so, why should I even continue with him? It becomes a source that strengthens another to stay in a relationship or leave.
That's very true. Relationships have ended because of money. And I feel like marriage counselors should begin to up their game. I know this is up for debate. This could be up for debate, but because quite a number of things have changed, and I feel like they have not yet gotten to the level of our generation when it comes to talking about such issues, because most of the things we hear from the older generation is this thing coaches still dwell on those things that worked in the past. I am not saying we should do away with principles, because principles remain the same, but how we approach those principles must begin to shift to something that is going to be workable for the younger generation. Because you might say it never used to happen. Maybe then your partners didn't want money for hair. Ours do one day of double drawn wigs. I don't even know what that is.
What's that?
I have no idea, but I just know it's a wig. And, they'll say a good one, at least at 2,500. 3,500 to
Is it
5,
anywhere closer
10,000
to
kwacha.
some Brazilian, Indian hair?
Well, I may not be so sure, but those are things that I'll be telling you, just date within your range so that you don't end up saying women are actually too demanding or expensive. Yes, and also it is important to reach a consensus so that you are not caught by surprise, because sometimes, and I'm not putting blame on the women or the men, but we need to strike a balance, because we need to save the boy child in his 20s, because this is a particular time that he is trying to get his life fixed, and so many things are happening at once. So you are trying to balance your personal life, your career, maybe trying to get into some businesses. You're trying to be there for the family as well. You're just trying to survive. Maybe you are in school or you just graduated. There are so many things that are happening. And then on top of that, you have this partner who is also trying to live up to the new levels or standards of the fellow ladies that she is hanging around with. And so she wants that wig for 2,500, and you don't know when last you held such kind of amount of money in your hands, and it seems to be a very difficult thing. Besides that, so many things that are happening nowadays in relationships that I feel the older generation should get interested and ask us what things have changed, so that whenever there's this counseling and all those things, they're able to meet those needs for the young people.
I would have asked you questions, but I realize you're not my guest. But here is the thing, though, Mwene, that maybe we needed to pay particular attention to. You rightly put it that the cause are that in an event you are unable to manage a certain girl because of her demands, then it clearly shows that she is not in your league.
Obviously.
But I want to think and believe that in an event this girl is demanding for hair that is costing 2,000 kwacha, then she should also be at least in a position to manage it herself without getting it from a boyfriend. I'm trying to drive at the issue where expenditures in a relationship, I mean, we are not yet married. I'm supposed to be very careful with my expenditure. I shouldn't be careless. But this person asking, yes, once in a while, but does she have the capacity to also, maybe once in a while, sponsor her hair when she needs it?
And I think that's where we need to strike a balance between a person who is demanding and someone who's able to afford something for themselves.
All right.
I do not see the need for you to trouble someone's son to get you a wig or anything that's costing more than you can actually afford, had that person not been available. Then you're being a burden. Yeah, you're being a burden to someone. And for the young man, and I think it's also important for us to be honest with ourselves whenever we are trying to get into these relationships. And this is where we need your help. You people who have gone through these stages, you people who have survived many years in marriage, yes, so that we do not make some of these mistakes. Because I'm not married myself, but I'm beginning to think if I'm getting trouble with providing for someone who, in my own terms, I would say they are too demanding, then the problem will not end in a relationship. It might get worse when we get married.
Are you worried?
I am not worried.
Okay.
Maybe my worry is not for myself, but for the larger community of the boy child, because I know the challenges that they are facing. I interact with my fellow young people in different circles, in religious circles, in the social world, in the corporate world, and I hear the cries of my fellow young people. It's almost the same. So the plea is not just for me, but it's for the majority.
Yeah, but I think what becomes central in every relationship is that we need to at least live within our means, number one.
Definitely.
Number two, I am thinking when one enters into a relationship, and maybe that's a problem that I personally made. From my very first relationship, when I was just but a young boy, But what causes demanding, and this is probably why you are saying the younger generation has to be schooled in this area,
Definitely.
is that another is looking at the relationship for obvious reasons.
Oh, yeah.
What am I benefiting from this? So from the man's perspective, it is going to be sex before marriage.
Mm-hmm.
For the lady, she is looking at, for me to offer this service, if at all it is a service.
Yeah.
So if at all it is a service, then I am supposed to receive from this individual.
Yeah.
And if I am going to receive from this individual, then I am obliged to offer this service. And that's the reason why you see this rise in immorality, because it is a relationship that is transactional based. I am thinking I have to benefit something. But if you enter into a relationship with an end in mind, you have a goal that this is the person I have fallen in love with. I am thinking we're going to settle in the future. It might not be immediate, but at least some years from now, this one is going to be my wife, this one is going to be my husband. It is going to reduce the levels of demanding on both ends, because one is going to demand for this, another is going to demand for this. And we've seen that. This has driven a number of young people into relationships that actually are multiple, because they are thinking, I can eat from here, I can eat from here, I can get money from here. Imagine from 5 boyfriends, everyone giving me a 2,000 for hair. Because you will not ask me, if you've given me a 2,000, another has given me, I'm only going to do one hair style. And when you see it, you think it's your 2,000. But it's another person that has sponsored. In the end, we are providing a very unstable ground on our relationships. The time you want to settle, well, probably everyone has known you, and what happens? There is something that I actually don't like. The younger generation today, I'm sorry to say this on live TV, but they would say, somebody tells you, for example, because you've paid them, I'm calling that a payment for their hair, and then you are going to sleep with her, and she will tell you that you're actually good in bed. That's not a praise.
No, it's not.
But people take it as, oh, no, she said, this guy that is, and without knowing, she's telling you that I've been all over.
Oh, yeah.
You are the better one.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. And for some reason, it also gives you leeway to now thinking, since I'm good at this, maybe I can try and play somewhere else. And you talked about immorality, and that is one of the biggest issues we people. And there are so many things that have pornography, and some are now thinking of boy-girl relationship. So here is a young man who cannot afford the demands of this girl. And in the end, in a way, of course, which is not right, to satisfy himself and all those unwanted desires, they get into pornography. For some, sadly, they get into same-sex relationships, because now, instead of providing, there is someone who can provide for them in the same gender. Others have gone into getting dildos. Those are ladies now who are saying, I think I cannot find the satisfaction I need from this young man. I have all I need except a man. So they will go and get that. And that study talked about a lot of other things, dirty games, and that young people get involved in as a result of not managing these relationships. I also love the fact that you mentioned in the past, when someone gets into a relationship, they are thinking this is going to lead into marriage. But the case is not the same with many of us young people. We just want to see what we can get from someone at that particular time when it is only beneficial to us, and when we are tired or when we've gotten what we want, the person. And this is why some ladies, the only thing they have to offer in a relationship is sex. And for a young man who is also getting that in a relationship, they end up getting into loans and all those things, just in order for them to provide. There was a TikTok story that was trending, I think a few months ago, maybe somewhere in November, December, of a young man who recently came to Lusaka and met this lady at Zikas University, and he narrated a lot of things that made him regret for that particular time. This lady was so demanding. He tried as much as possible to provide, and everything he thought was done in his best capacity was just considered a bare minimum. You see?
Bare minimum.
Exactly.
My
And
efforts.
yeah, and he says he got a loan, you know, put his, I think, gadgets on as collateral, you know. So they were obviously coming from
Loan, you are merely dating. I don't think that's right. Here is my contention, Mwene, and maybe our viewers would also want to 7, but also on Facebook, you are free to slot in your thoughts on this one while we await our guest on this program. But my contention is that spending in a relationship is not supposed to be like it's a must. At home, I've got that obligation. At every given opportunity, I am supposed to spend, right? In a relationship, it's not supposed to be anything, and this is my opinion. It's not supposed to be anything that you'll have to do because you are obliged to do that.
Oh, yeah.
Now, one who does not spend in a relationship should not be looked at by a girl to say he's a stingy person. And I want to believe that we needed ladies that are going to tell the men to say, this kind of expenditure is not right.
Oh, yeah.
I know of people that have lost relationships because this girl is outgoing and the gentleman is trying to be a little bit reasonable by saying, we have a future to build. There is no need for us to go partying. There is no need for us to do this. Yes, we are going to, instead of going to a club, I know a number of young people do that. How about we just spend less than 200 kwacha, watch a movie, we are going to have popcorns here, and after that spend on transport to go back home, and life continues. But imagine if you're going for a party, you will spend this much, and then on top of that you'll have to give this girl some money. That's for the other side. But even us that are so much into religion, we needed to reach at a point where we are saying, I am going to spend out of love, but it is not going to be something like this person is going to make me feel like I'm obligated to do that at any given 10.
Oh, yeah.
Why am I saying out of love? Love is going to spend on you, but it will not spend recklessly. It will spend with caution, because can I tell you what happened at the time that I was beginning to think of my independence? My auntie told me at some point to say, now that you are talking about marriage, period you are planning on what is at home. In other words, my auntie was telling me, begin to arrange yourself financially, discipline yourself financially so that you're going to save. This time around, whenever I have the money, I know that I'm supposed to use it at home because there are kids, children. There is a wife at home. So you realize at the end of the day that there is that responsibility that I took while I am dating. Oh, yeah. And even my expenditure was disciplined. I was not spending anyhow.
Maybe to come in that direction, of course.
I hear you.
Yeah, so there is no obligation that a man in a relationship needs to maybe spend and all that. But here is a lady who is looking for someone to settle with. And she is in this relationship hoping it will definitely lead to marriage. Is there a criteria that she can use to determine if this man really is responsible, such that she knows I am not going to starve whenever I have a chance?
So you see potential. I'll tell you, seated here, there's somebody watching and said, when it looks potential. I said, love can spend and it will spend. All right? I am not spending for the benefit. I am spending because I am in love. So when you meet somebody, trust me, you can tell, even in the absence of money, that this person is not going to starve me.
Oh, yeah.
It is how they are caring for you. On special occasions, the quality of things that they are bringing for you on your birthday. We're just coming from, it's secular, but let me say it, we are coming from Valentine's. Did they even think about you? Of course, for men, we really don't receive as it were.
Yeah.
I'm happy to report that
you
I received. Yeah, I did, and it felt good.
Oh, yeah.
I was not only giving, but it did also pay off on my end. You were the one who received the call to say, "Don't come home without."
Yes,
because
I recall.
Yeah, I mean that day actually I did receive. I received on that day, belated, but it did come in the name of. Let me tell you, it is not going to be one-sided traffic. Even the other person is supposed to demonstrate to say, to show you that she is also not one that is going to be a problem, because this time around, you guys are living at a time where even a lady is into meaningful income generating activities. The man is also doing the same. So how is this person with their finances? But your question really is, how can a lady tell that this person is not going to starve me? You can see, even in the absence of finances. To start with, this person is working. They might not be getting a lot of money, but this individual is into some form of employment and they're earning. What levels of stinginess do they have?
Oh, yeah.
I have a problem when it is a demand to say on a monthly basis, you're supposed to give me for my money,
Girlfriend
for my
allowance.
hair, girlfriend allowance and all that. I have a problem with that one. But honestly speaking, I don't think for somebody that means well for you, you are going to miss it. And I'm forwarding love, I'm advancing love in all this. That one who is in love with you, even just the way they are treating you, it will show that this one means well.
Oh, yeah.
From nowhere, you don't even need to ask. I say, I think my girlfriend needs a bit of some lotion. So for no reason, you receive money.
Right.
Yeah, it's not like you demanded for it. The problem is demanding on the part of the lady. And then you want to say stingy. Some people don't actually like it to say every time you have to tell them, I need this, I need that. No, they know that I have to do this for somebody that I love truly, and I'm going to do that. But if it's going to be like, of men actually withdraw the moment they realize that they're dealing with that kind of a lady.
Oh, yeah.
So they will say, I think this is not for me. I am not going to actually make it here. But here is the thing. When finally you settle, not settling, but the moment when you eventually get into a relationship with one, I would say the right one for you, the heart will tell you, this is the one. You want to go far than you would have done previously.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, for the man, they will not find it out for ice cream. They'll not find it difficult to once in a while say, I want to sponsor your wig.
Oh, yeah.
It's 2,000, but for the last 3 months, have been banking a bit, now you can do your hair.
Do something.
All right? So because it has clicked, he is the one. Even on the end of this one, it has clicked, she is the one. Things are going to balance.
Well, thank you for that elaborate response, Pastor. You have reminded me of a certain story in Scripture that has got something that I find so interesting as a young man who in the near future may consider to build a home.
Is it may or will?
Pastor, it is may.
Okay.
Subject to change.
I see.
It should be, I can't seem to remember the chapter, but it's Genesis. The story of those twin boys, Esau and and Jacob. And the Bible talks about how Jacob found his wife, you know, sent by the parents, and he meets this lady and was taking care of the father's animals.
Animals, yes.
Yes, and a right person, because she was able to do some sort of work, being meaningful with her life. And a spiritual writer commenting further on that story, where the man worked 7 years to get the lady as his own. The writer talks about the ability for a man to demonstrate that he is able to provide for the woman that he intends to marry. Of course, we live in a patriarchal society that is not so kind to the men. But of course, she talks about demonstrating beyond just saying, I love you.
Yeah.
To what extent can you go to be able to prove that you are ready to settle with this young lady, and what can you do around those issues? And I think it was so profound for me to read something. But of course, the writer did not leave out the woman, because she also played a simple role. In her silence, there's so much more that we can learn.
Indeed, indeed. There is something that I don't know why now it's me talking. They are switching you when it was me. Yeah, but that's now we get it right. So there is something that Dr. Kabani, I think, addressing youths mentioned about you being in a financially stable position. You can begin to think about love. Without the finances, then love is not supposed to be even in your vocabulary. The reason is simple. The example that you have cited here, every parent, I am a parent, I am looking forward to a time that I'm going to hand over my daughter to this man that I believe will take care of my daughter.
Right.
But I am using that word loosely, because a home is built by two people. So if a home is built by two people, then it's a contribution of both my daughter and my son-in-law. So what is my daughter taking into this home? What is my son-in-law bringing into this home becomes very critical. But who is key? The priest of the house is the man. So the decisions that the man is going to make are going to affect the operation of the home. And so if my daughter is to be safe, I have to see what kind of a priest my daughter is going to end up with. And that's the reason why we find a situation where you need to work for this long. And if you are well able, remember at that particular time, life revolved around agriculture. And it is when you have a certain piece of land that you are able to till, and are you able to till it, then you are able to run your home. And so it was that basis. In our time, it might not be tilling the land, but it would be, or it is requiring that you look at Mwene's ability to push further. Even just levels of education. There are some people that, wow, they talk so highly about relationships. One, they're not running any business. They run back home. They're still living with their parents. And then they want to, I saw your post about dependence, by the way. I did see it. So you are a heavy dependent. And you still want to talk about love. I hope she's not watching. I talked about marriage while living by my auntie's place. And then she looks at me and says, "Sir, you're talking about marriage. And yet you are squatting. Show me that you have what it takes." Quickly, I moved to Chilenje from Kanyama. Now, it's me proving that I am able to be independent. And when she is going to tell her people to say, this is the man, where does he stay? He is renting some apartment somewhere. said, oh, he's staying alone. No, that's okay, because at least he's able to do what? To pay rent.
Oh, yeah.
So you are seeing that it is progressive. It is not a one-sided process. It's a process that is asking you to show more of what you can do, so that when we entrust you with this individual, then you put your heads together, it's going to blossom into something that everyone is going to look forward to. Scripture tells us that our homes are supposed to be a little experience of heaven.
Oh, yeah.
Not where you are suffering, but if you are going to suffer, then it must show that we are suffering because this happened along the way, and not that I never showed the potential. So we are supposed to move in that direction. It's unfortunately our guest is not here, and it's not supposed to be our show. But I wanted to pick something that I want you to probably reflect on. And I think this is where our discussion is coming. Money is a very sensitive on a daily basis. There is a secular singer who said, love nanjala siviendererana. So if love nanjala siviendererana, then you cannot talk love if you don't have the means to satisfy the love financially. Now, many relationships, Mwene, are not destroyed because they lack money. I mean, because they lack love. Love might be there, but the absence of money brings tension. You want to learn from us who have been in this for some time. I will tell you now that for women, when, and they can debate, they can argue with me, but this I have observed and I have concluded. For women, they get moody when they're broke. You actually think she's not the good person for you. She's not a good person because when they have no money, they will look at you, and when they don't see the hope of that money coming, well, the people around there, you inclusive, is not going to be pleasant to you. But the moment
the money comes,
the moment that TXN
the TXN
message, the moment it shows on the phone that Zangen, the mood around the home changes. And I have actually seen this happen in a larger scale of society. And so we wouldn't want to allow money to be the reason to divide us. So let us find a way of using it prudently, judiciously, so that we are going to sustain ourselves as a couple. And that becomes very, very important. So I have said here that relationships, majority of them are destroyed, not because there is no love, but because of financial discipline, or can I say indiscipline, but also poor spending habits. Maybe let me talk about something here. There are people that can buy anything anywhere, even without planning for it.
Right.
It's called impulse expenditure.
Instant gratification.
You just see something and immediately you want to get it. Did we plan for it? No. If we didn't plan for it, then why should we spend on it? So in other words, there is need for every individual member of this family to realize that we are not going to buy a TV this time around. I know of a woman, a lady who, when one TV got damaged in the house, it was not replaced for a long time, because according to her, there was no plan to buy it. But this set was not in the few months to come, and we are going between life and death. Can we do without a TV?
No.
Yes.
Yeah, we can.
Yes, we can.
Yes, we can.
So if we can do without a TV, then there is no need for us to think about buying it now because it is destroyed. If we can repair it, because those are part of the miscellaneous budget that we are going to have, then we are going to repair it. But if it is irreparable, then we need to replace it. But do we have the money to replace it? And remember, the kind of TV sets that we buy now are bigger TV sets and be repaired. When you are buying, you're not going back to 15 inch.
Yeah.
Try to go to 21. If you're at 21, try to go to 32. When you are replacing a 32, you are going to 45, 50, 75, even 100. Is there 100?
Not sure.
Yeah, so tentatively, it means you need to readjust what you were doing and you are planning in that direction. So financial stress leads to arguments. I told you about that. It leads to mistrust. It leads to emotional distance between partners. Now, the earlier you prepare for this, the better, and you position yourself to move in that direction.
Well, great conversation there. 0976151517. Let's hear what you have to say on that base that Pastor Bright Singles has built for us on money matters in love. We want to hear your opinion, your experience, so that we can learn. The good part is that we are bringing it from both sides here, from someone who is married and has experienced it on that level, and someone who is single, of course, who has experienced it on another level and trying to build a balance. And Pastor, I can confirm that financial indiscipline has also killed relationships that should have grown into marriage.
Oh, yes.
Because there was a misunderstanding on something that is workable. I'll give an example of this man. Of course, I'll not mention names. And he tells a story of how he deliberately decided to give a certain amount of money to a young lady. And for him, it was a test to see if this lady is ready to build a home. And he gives this substantial amount of money to the young lady. And within a short space of time, he says that money was finished. What that money was used for was never seen. The next thing was she was asking for more money. And for him, that was an instant red flag. He was afraid he could not manage to proceed with that woman because he wasn't going to manage to run a home with someone that does not have financial discipline. And sometimes we begin to ask ourselves and wonder, what does financial discipline look like? It's not rocket science. You don't need to become an accountant or go to Zika for you to be able to be financially disciplined. Of course, some financial literacy is important at that level for any other human being, but learning the basics is very important. In a simple way, just the general term discipline, I love to say it's doing the right thing even when you do not feel like doing it. Because you're not doing it because you must, but because it is a necessity that you must do it. So you do not want to save this money for later. But that money will save you for later. So the discipline now is saving that money for that particular time. Okay? Financial discipline looks like having a little money to keep in your savings account as a single young man, a single young woman, because there are certain things that will just come without you seeing them, and they will need money. Where do you start from? You spent your whole earnings at one point because you needed something so badly. What happens to emergencies that we don't see? So those things need money. Financial discipline looks like being able to spend with a budget. There is a simple principle I learned during one of the camp meetings. This financial literacy coach said, when you get your 100%, you just begin to divide it. It's very simple. You get the 10% for God, it goes. You get another 10%, you save from your 100% earnings. It could be a regular salary or any amount of money that you have. You have. Yes, and then it goes. You get your 50% for the daily necessities, rent, those things that you know you need to. And then he continues to cut it until that money is completely spent. So there is always some saving. There is always an aspect of stewardship. Of course, you need to be faithful. And stewardship is not the 10%, by the way. It's the 100%. It's how you spend the 100%. That is going to show how much you love your God and how much you are responsible as a person who has been entrusted. So, of course, we understand that financial discipline means being able to take care of every earning in a way that is going to glorify God. And so, if I am spending money to please my partner and it does not please God, then I'm being financially indisciplined. It's only a matter of time before the two of us begin having misunderstandings.
It's a matter of time, and when that time arrives, you even know that, well, the mistake was made because I ignored these red flags. I should have known earlier that this is what it takes, and I should be able to do that. I wanted to pick something from Ellen White on the issues of money, but first things first. I want you to apply yourself on the scripture that says the love of money is the root of all evil.
Yeah.
But then there is also the call to say, lay up your treasure in heaven, because here on earth there is moth and all that. I'm being crooked in my application of this because I'm trying to think when you are not financially disciplined, you are going to spend on things that are going to consume your resources. Now, you brought in the aspect of stewardship. It's going to consume your resources and deplete them like wildfire, because there is no vertical relationship with your God. I mean, you have no attachment with your God, and the fact that you have stayed away from what you are supposed to do as your obligation to God, then it is very easy for you to find one that is going to help you sweep your account clean. Majority of us get broke few hours after getting paid.
Yeah, money is the quickest thing you can lose.
Yeah.
Aside from life, money is the quickest thing you can lose. You can have substantial amounts of money, and in just a swipe, it's gone.
Yeah. So now, I wanted you to apply yourself on the root of evil is as a result of money. Those that love money in relationships. What is your take on that one vis-a-vis what we are discussing?
I think the writer was very prudent when he said the love of money is the root of all evil. Yes, and when we, obviously everyone has said this, it's nothing special. The writer did not say money is the root, but the love of money. Yes, because money is a necessity for our daily transactions of life. The gospel, our daily lives, provision, everything needs money for it to move. But now, the writer says the love of this same money becomes a root of evil. What that means is someone can go to any extent to make sure that they have the money. Legal or illegal means, as long as the money does what? Comes. Because money does not give satisfaction. It has got no ending point. And here is the reason people might go to any extent just for them to earn the money. And that is why people are now selling, because they need money. Okay? And people are buying. We're not just talking about sellers here. We're also talking about buyers. Yes, and people who are buying, they are using what? They're using money. So because everyone thinks they can get money to get them anything that they want, the evil begins to creep in. Money is never enough. Money is never gets to a point where you say, I think I have too much of it, and so I'm going to stop at this. When our love begins to focus on money alone, then we are slowly losing the direction.
Yeah, there is something. We are running out of time. It's unfortunately that our guest could not join us today, but there is something that Ellen White tried to help us when it comes to love and relationship. And for her, love should be principle based, not just emotion.
Yeah.
And that becomes very critical. So she has taught a lot of things about true love, which is not merely passion or infatuation, but it is grounded in Christian character. It is grounded in self-sacrifice. It is grounded in commitment, but also spiritual unity. There is one statement that I am picking from there where she wants love is a high and holy principle, altogether different in character from that love which is awakened by impulse.
Oh yeah.
And she's on firm grounds. But there is also the advice on choosing a partner. She says you need to be very careful. She advised young people, and this is in messages to young people. Marry someone who shares, number one, the same faith as you. Number two, consider character above appearance or wealth. Now, wealth, that's where money is coming
in.
Their looks. I see Mwene and I say, wow, he looks cute. He even has the money. But, she says, consider Mwene's character. And not his looks or the money that he possesses. Most importantly, she says, seek God's guidance before marriage. That answers the question you asked me earlier about choosing. Are you able to see that this one is not going to make me, so God should help you. And then for those that enter into courtship, she says courtship should be pure and thoughtful. So she cautioned against what she says flirtation. There is a lot of flirting that we are doing today. There's also the issue of secret relationships. Be very careful on that one. That's why we have a number of people that are living in what they are terming complicated relationships. And Facebook, then you'd write relationship, it's complicated. I think now it's no longer happening. Then never rush into making a decision. Take your time. Understand this particular individual. But also, when it comes to a marriage setup, her encouragement is on the issues of kindness. Be kind to your partner. Be patient with your partner. But also, mutual respect becomes very important. Then, every one of us should flee unselfishness. It shouldn't be about me. The Tonga word is it shouldn't be about me. Even another person deserves what I deserve. So am I going to treat the other person better? Remember I told you about receiving on that special day. It's Valentine. I give, okay. I should also receive. And it's supposed to be in that aspect, and it's supposed to be Christ-centered. It shouldn't be a home that is only looking at you as an individual, me as an individual, but let us put Christ in the center circle, and it is going to help us. So money is not evil, but the love of it is evil. And so her lesson, her submission, sometimes you even forget there is a God because you're looking at this dude that has the money and you're moving in that direction. I think tentatively those are some of the things that I have picked from there to aid us in this discussion. There is a comment on Facebook. There's some that one. Unfortunately, they don't have a name. They have emojis. Says the bare minimum issue. That's what you said. The issue is with you, the person you deserve better, whilst the same person doesn't have a partner. It's a situation where, well, you deserve better. But if you deserve better, you do not have a partner. And chances are that because you are looking for that bare minimum, you will remain without a partner because you've set your standards higher than normal. So why not bring lower down your expectations and live within what is practically possible and acceptable.
Well, that is another thing that is actually very debatable, but here is my quick comment.
Okay.
Never lower your standards because there is no one who is reaching your level. The best is find someone who is willing to level up, not you dropping up to someone's level.
You are not dropping your standards. But you are living with reality.
Yeah.
So there are certain things that we have placed higher than reality. Like you are looking, you know statements where social media will tell you that this that you're looking for does not exist. Yeah. Especially on the part of ladies. Yeah. Like you are looking for an impossibility. So why should you look for something that deep down your heart you know that for me to achieve this, number one, I'm not even part of that bracket. Okay. So you want to look for somebody who is like an angel when you yourself you are not.
Well,
so it's on the issues of expectations. Standards are standards, but can they be reasonable?
Well, talking of being reasonable, they need to be reasonable. And someone said looking for a partner is not so much about looking for the right person. Okay. It's so much about you being the right person. Okay?
That's true.
If I have the standards, I have the right to look for them in someone else. If that person does not have those, but that does not mean I should be unrealistic, given the fact that, yes, we complement one another. But if it's too early to say there is no one who is at this standard, to my fellow young people.
You could have been trying.
To my fellow young people, I think it's too early for us to say that there is no one at this standard. There is. There is always someone, as long as you are living to that standard.
We'll meet when you come for prayers. I've been looking for a relationship, but I haven't found one in a long time because maybe your standards were high. We'll pray for you. But before praying for you, we'll advise you. We'll do a background check and see that. We are taught to wind up now, to close actually.
Well, it's been a great conversation, and I feel like we just got started, but unfortunately we had to go.
We have to go.
And so
we apologize that our guest
did not make it, of course. Yeah, we sincerely apologize that our guest did not make it. Nevertheless, we just needed to be with you because you always accommodate us in your homes, on your screens. And for me, my last words where money matters in love and in relationship is that you need to find someone who has got the same values and principles as you, who sees money the very way you see it. Because if you look at money in two different dimensions, then the problems are going to start.
At the end of the day, we don't quarrel with money. Let's love it.
Oh, yeah.
Until next time, from all of us, it's God bless and keep watching Hope Channel Zambia. This has been Hope Live for today.